Very good. So namaskar, everyone, once again, and welcome to our Wednesday meditation session. Today, I want to show you, as we continue this exploration of the subtle possibilities of the body, the subtle possibilities of yourself, I should say, and the key role that the breath can play in all of our dimensions. The breath plays a crucial role in each of our bodies and in each of our possibilities. So, of course, you have heard me talk about the physical body, the mental body, the energy body, the wisdom body, and the bliss body. And of course, we can see how the physical body is involved with breath, but so is the mental body and the energy body. And today I want to show you a bit of the latest research that has been done in terms of what happens when we breathe. And I will also show you a couple techniques to, what would be the right word? Modulate our breath, to work with our breath, to guide our lives. So I'm excited to show you what we can find today. So all of this you have already seen, the 5 bodies. We have talked about this 5 bodies and the layers. And the slide on the left that I am showing now is also something that you have seen. So this cribriform plate, as you can see, is showing us the nerves that are stimulated with our breath, with the air coming in and coming out, through our nasal cavity, right? You can see clearly how the air goes in, goes out through the nose. As the air goes in, you can imagine the air sort of softly touching these nerves. Of course, these nerves are not exposed, right? They are covered, but they are stimulated. And we know this for a fact. You can even feel this yourself, because even though your body is filled with nerves, and even though your nerves in your body are covered, if you put something hot or cold, you will immediately feel it. Yes? Maybe for a very brief instant, you don't know if it's hot or cold, right? Because sometimes cold burns and such. But very soon you can feel it. So even though these nerves are covered, they are receptive to a lot of things. They are receptive to tension. So this part of the body can contract and acquire some tension. So these nerves become squeezed and tense. But they are also susceptible to temperature. Not just the temperature outside, but even the temperature that we allow our system to have as we operate. Now, if you want to stimulate something, stimulate is what will do what? Stimulation is what brings it life and activity. If I ask you to touch a very small part anywhere in your body and to rub it back and forth like this, right? See the lights. So how can I make it more like this? Right? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, you'll generate friction, right? You could even test this right now. Take one of your fingers and go to the back of your hand, your opposite hand, and find a really small place and rub it like this. Fast, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What happens when you do this? There's more tension, there's friction. And if you stop doing it, can you feel what's happening in your index finger and in your hand? There was more friction, and the temperature rises. What happens if you keep doing it for hours? You'd probably create a bruise, yes? But what would happen if I ask you to take instead the entire back of your hand and go with movements that are more prolonged? What does that do? You may notice right away it's softer. And perhaps your body reacts and says, oh, this is a good feeling, thank you. This is a one-finger massage. Can you feel it in your hand? How it feels nice to touch? In the same way, when we are breathing fast, we are making our system go into overdrive. When we are breathing fast, and even worse, when we are breathing shallow. So the whole aim of the human being, which is what we discover in meditation, is to breathe slowly and deeply. It's even economics. If you breathe shallow and fast, and even worse, with bad posture, you are actually decreasing the quality of life. You're decreasing everything in the body, literally everything, because good breath and good breathing and oxygen is crucial, it's vital for every single function of the body: digestion, blood flow, brain operation, you name it. Everything needs to be, or I should say, everything is positively influenced if you have a good amount of oxygen and a breath that is slow and deep, free of tension. So this is why we talk so much about the therapeutic aspects of meditation, the therapeutic aspects of yoga. It's extremely crucial that we start taking deeper breaths. Now, here in this other chart, very briefly, you can see, okay, this is the total lung capacity. Just to show you briefly, this small section here, this is you when you're breathing shallow. I don't know if you can see it. Of course, I can send this in the chat as well for future observation. If you can imagine the movement when you're breathing shallow and fast, it is that movement that I made you do at first, right? Fast, 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 fast. But if you're using your total lung capacity, there is less dead space. And this has been proven in the research. I'll show you next. This is the volume of oxygen in the body in normal, shallow, and deep breath. If you take a normal breath, you get 500 milliliters per breath. Rate per minute. If it's a shallow breath, it's only 200, less than half. But if you take the deep breath, it's 5 times greater than the shallow breath. Right? In rates per minute, of course, the deeper, slower breath is slower. So this is less breaths. It's half the normal breath. And it's only 1/4 or 1/5 of the shallow breath. I'd rather do only 6 push-ups than 30. If you think about it, this is 6 push-ups well done, or 6 sit-ups well done. This is 30, bad quality. I'd rather eat 6 amazing dishes than 30 lousy dishes. Right? And the end result for this is more anatomical, but the alveoles, the little aspects present in our 3 levels of lungs and the 3 nodes of the lungs are much, much, much more stimulated by this deeper breath. Now, let me ask you, how do we do a deep breath? What part of your body do you need to use to perform a deep breath? Who can tell me?
I would say that, I'm sorry, there's not so much light. I would say
Perhaps
that
my audio is not connected. I think Claire is speaking, but I cannot hear. Give me 1 second.
okay.
Can you try again, Claire? I think I fixed
Yes,
it now.
of course. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yes,
Oh, here we go.
you can hear me.
1 second.
Okay.
Objective pulmonary COPD, customized COPD. So there is the obstructions in the flow of the air. So when you exhale forcefully.
Okay. There we go. Okay.
Okay. Yes. Okay, so how to make a deep breath, like which parts of the bodies we are using, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say that we're using basically 3 parts. It's maybe more parts, but
What's the
maybe-
one main part for deep breath? One
okay. The main part is the lower belly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that will use the main muscle for breathing. The main muscle for breathing is the diaphragm. So we need to do diaphragmatic breathing. You can do diaphragmatic breathing by having good posture and allowing the belly to expand and contract as you breathe. If you can have good posture and this breath in awareness throughout the day, you're 10 steps closer to actual meditation. That is what we practice in meditation. But I will teach you something before we start meditating today, a little secret as well, that I want you all to start practicing. The breath is everything. The breath involves itself with the mind. As soon as something happens that is shocking, the breath reacts in some way. We gasp, or we exhale, or we sigh. Everything is in the breath. But did you know that you can use your breath to regulate your emotional and mental activity? When I talk about willpower, willpower comes to us as a tiny spark, and we only have a fraction of a moment to get up and operate through that spark of willpower that came. If we do not act with that spark, we lose it. And it takes time to build that spark again. And one of the best ways to use this willpower is through the breath. So the practice that I want to give you all is to intervene with the breath whenever it is necessary, by either inhaling or exhaling with power. When you notice that you are not operating where you want to operate, you can either just inhale and bring yourself back, or exhale to bring yourself back. Whether it's the inhalation or the exhalation, what matters is that you are aware of which stage of breathing you are in, and you finish the current stage of breathing that you are in with power, with forcefulness, to bring yourself back. So for example, I may be talking and I inhale like this. If I feel like I'm losing power, I bring the power back to me, even if I'm talking to an audience, even if I'm working, even if I'm standing doing my yoga, or I exhale to release. I don't need to do this all the time, but I can do this in crucial times. And it's a big responsibility, but it's also a big possibility, because as soon as you notice the shadow coming, the cloud coming, the mind coming with patterns, taking you out of your present moment awareness, taking you out of the action that you were trying to do, let me come back. So today in meditation, we will do these 2 things. We will breathe in our belly, diaphragmatic breathing, as deep as we can. And whenever you feel that you are going away, that you're losing power, that you're disconnecting, you inhale powerfully. You allow the air to come in with force, with power, as if you were just coming out of the ocean and you need to breathe, as if you couldn't breathe before. Can you do it? You want to practice a few rounds on your own? You can start by imitating what I do. So it's an exceptional breathing. It's not just really like, let me inhale a little bit deeper. That has a purpose. But this that I'm giving you today is a little secret that is meant to give you an extra boost. It's a savior. It's an emergency breath. So, oh no, I have distracted myself with my mind. Let me come back. And it gives you a lot of power. So just like how I say, sometimes have a gentle expression, the gentle smile, because that has a deep influence in the nervous system. If you need it to do a task that requires that vital force, that dynamism, you can frown. Frown in the sense that you make a concentrated face, a directed face, a purposeful face. Let me not stop from doing this. Let me not be distracted. I said no. This is also an action through the breath that we can use to influence the mind and to increase our willpower. So we say no. I said no. I said this is my task at hand. Or I said this pattern is not going to bother me today. Have you selected today already a pattern that is bothering you about yourself? And have you set a firm boundary with it? Have you looked that pattern in the eye and say, today you are not welcome. Maybe tomorrow I'll observe you again, but today you are not welcome. Today let me rescue you. And whenever it shows up, I said no. And you do that with just one pattern, with one tendency, with one conditioning. Have you selected which pattern you want to work with today? So this is a great possibility. And this secret of the breath is something that I was only taught by two people, one in India and one in Trinidad. It is one of the most amazing secrets that you can do with breath. This is one of the main keys that has given me the ability to recognize willpower in action in my life. So let us practice these two possibilities: diaphragmatic breathing and purposeful breathing whenever we become distracted. And of course, I will guide you as we go. So to begin, just find your comfortable position. Whatever your position may be, allow your hips to settle down and lengthen your spine. Relax your shoulders, open up your heart, close your eyes, and bring a relaxed expression to the face. Now coming into that present moment awareness. Breathing deeply in your belly. Allow your belly to expand as you inhale. Bring your belly button deeply in as you exhale, letting all the air out. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. Allow your belly to expand. And when you exhale, let all the air out. Bring your belly button deeply in, squeeze. And when you're exhaling, stay just a little bit longer as you're letting the air out to make sure that everything came out. And then sit for an instant in that pause where you are empty. And allow the next inhalation to come naturally, where you expand your belly to its maximum, more and more. And then again, sit for an instant with that expanded body, full to the brim with breath. And allow the exhalation to come in naturally. Observe that expanded breath with its pauses, and allow the breath to come into rhythm. Make it a rhythmic breath. Allow the exhalation to last as long as the previous inhalation. And as you keep your attention with the breath, more and more you want to pour that attention in that process. And if you find yourself that the attention has been taken away by either the stimuli from the external world or the activity of the internal world, such as your mind and your emotions, then and there, as soon as you realize, inhale forcefully, powerfully, and bring the power back to you and return to the breath. Use that dynamic inhalation whenever needed and as many times as needed. Anytime you notice the intruding thoughts, use that powerful breath to bring the power back to you. And as soon as you bring the power back to you, return to that rhythmic, deep breath. Release any tension that you may have and adjust your posture. There is firmness in the posture, but not tension. Should be open and comfortable. Your task is to strengthen your willpower, your inner fire, by strongly keeping the attention with the breath. Notice how many things come that want to snatch the attention away. Don't let it. Every time you resist, every time you inhale forcefully, you are contributing to your inner fire. Every time you resist the distraction, every time you resist the temptation of going away with the patterns and the behaviors, every time you are contributing to strengthening your willpower. But every time you become distracted, you contribute to your disempowerment. So make it an act of love to remain and to come back as many times as needed. And even though you keep the breath rhythmic, at times you will find that the system wants to breathe in a particular subtle way. Like an inspiration comes to breathe in a bit of a particular, special way. This is a good sign. Don't resist. There is a deeper intelligence in the system, trying to breathe the perfect way for your well-being, trying to breathe to overcome physical, mental, emotional, energy challenges. The role of your mind in this task is just to be there with you in the present, commanding. And your job is to keep that mind there in the present. And at the same time, there's this greater intelligence that you do not control, that comes in and takes over. Can you open yourself to it? Can you seize your control? Can you release the notion of control? Your attention has become refined. And your body has become oxygenated. The next stage is to give purpose and direction to this power. So do a scan of your body. Feel your toes. Feel them. Bring that energy and that love to them. Your heels, the soles of your feet. Your ankles, and the front of your feet. Your shins, your calves, your knees, and the back of your knees. Feel your thighs, the inside of the thighs, the outside, the back and the front. Your entire pelvis with the sacrum, your lower organs. Feel your lower belly, your lower back, your ribs, your diaphragm, middle and upper back. Feel your chest, your heart, your clavicles, feel your fingers, your knuckles, your palms and the back of your palms, wrists, feel your forearms and elbows. Your arms, armpits, and shoulders. Your neck and your throat, and the back of your neck. Feel your face, your jaw, tongue, cheeks, your nose, your forehead, your temples, feel your eyes and the muscles around your eyes. And your entire skull, your brain, take a few breaths, feeling, imagine, or visualizing that you're breathing through and with your brain. Feel, imagine, or visualize the energy coming like a beautiful light and electricity to that brain, filling it with energy and power. And if the mind tries to intervene, use that dynamic and forceful breath to operate with certainty. This is not a theory, this is the truth. You can breathe power into your brain, make that a reality right now. Continue energizing your breath, your brain. Now focus your attention in that space in your brow, in the middle of your eyebrows. And I want you to detect one limiting pattern that you may have and to set a powerful and loving boundary with it today. You are not welcome today. Whether it's guilt, shame, sense of defeat, sense of lack of energy, whatever it may be. Make it not welcome today. Feel, imagine, or visualize that the day is full of accomplishment and victory. That at the end of the day, you celebrate yourself and that everyone celebrates you. With that sense of achievement, with that sense of purpose. What do you want to accomplish today? Undefeated, victorious. And take a deep breath. Release any tension, any strong focus that you may feel. Connect back with your physical body completely. Keep your eyes closed for just a little while longer. Bring the palms of your hands together and rub them with one another until they are nice and warm, and cover your eyes for a moment. Feel the warmth of your hands, and gently, with a few soft blinks, open your eyes. And slowly remove your hands. And I'm going to give you a couple minutes to write down in your journal. Very good. So how was your meditation today? I hope you were able to feel that breath.
Thank you so much, Mars.
Either.
First of all, thank you so much for what you shared in today's class. Can you hear me well?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. I felt like for me this was just what I needed today because I felt that this day will be very challenging in terms of emotions and in the mind. So I felt this was really what I needed today, and I felt that I was very focused during the whole meditation. It was an amazing feeling. It was so good to feel the breath all the time in the lower belly. Was very powerful. And the class and the meditation just gave me so much motivation, and I feel very empowered, and I feel like protected, and I feel okay, I will manage this. I feel like, I don't know, it's an amazing feeling. Really, it feels like a gift. So I'm very looking forward to take the challenges of today and really work with this. And also the thing that you said, the secret about this powerful inhalation when you notice that the mind is going into patterns. That was also very wow. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Cliff. That amazing feeling that we get, whether it's in yoga or meditation, I get it a lot when chanting or when I see something that inspires me. I may get it as I'm reading the scriptures. I'm sure you all get it through different means: dancing, painting, talking to someone. That amazing feeling, I want you all to remember something very important. That amazing feeling is not because of the class or the meditation of the breath. It's not because of me. It's not even because of you. That amazing feeling is who you are. That bliss is your birthright. It is your true identity. No guilt, no shame, no this, no that, no what if, what will they say, what will I do? All of that is decoration that we navigate through in life. But truly the purpose of yoga and all this practice is to awaken that bliss through intelligent practices and methodology. That's all yoga is. That's why we call it a science. Yoga is not praying to the deities. There's a science to it that brings joy for certain people. For me, it's praying to the deities, not for everyone. So I want you all to remember that whatever amazing feelings that you derive are not because you're here. It's because you are you. And the only thing that I am doing is I am being a messenger. A messenger from my own self to yourself. Or we could even say that I am a messenger from yourself to yourself. You all have no guarantee that I exist outside of you. So that amazing feeling of victory, of, oh, I can not just take the challenges, I can flip them around. I can see what's underneath them and beyond them. That's why I say win, W-I-N. win. That is your power. And you need not forget it. You need only remember it. So I'm happy to hear it, of course, that you're able to access it with the breath coming back. Practice that aspiration for a few days. Notice how powerful it is to bring you back. Next week, we will also practice a continuation of this, the pursed lip breathing that I posted on social media recently, and some other things for the emotions, anxiety, depression, sadness, happiness, joy, anger, all of that. That's going to be next week. Thank you so much for sharing, Claire. Does Ted want to say anything about her meditation today?
Just quickly, I don't know why, but it's like that simplicity of just coming back to that breath and making it powerful. That just, I don't know, something clicked in me, which was like, I know it's something you keep repeating, but it's just, I don't know. It felt different this time.
I get it.
Yeah.
There's something, sometimes I feel like a broken record, but I say it also jokingly because I know that my teachers sounded like a broken record. And that I myself at times thought, oh, you sound like a broken record. But I've always known, somewhere in the back of my mind, that they insisted for a reason. And I could feel it not just because there was a feeling in me, but also because I saw it, right? In the presence of mentors and teachers of all kinds in India and Trinidad, here, in all kinds of places. And I'm grateful and I appreciate how much they insisted until I discovered something, maybe not exactly what I discovered, but something deep. Maybe it is what I discovered, and we just expressed it in different ways. But I'm happy to hear that, because I wouldn't like to sound crazy and like, okay, everyone, today we're also doing 1 hour of only breath awareness again. But sometimes that's what is needed. That's why it's so important to create space for meditation and consistency and being regular. It's so important. So beautiful, so important, so powerful. So I'm happy to hear that it clicked in some way, and it is always the way. It clicks in some way, and then a deeper way, and then another way, and then a different way. And just talking about the breath, we could do it all. I could do like a breath class once per week, and still 2 years later, I still would have so much more to say of everything I've discovered and everything I keep discovering every day. So happy to hear that as well. I look forward to hearing more of your thoughts and comments that you can send me in our groups. I wish for you to feel that connection with the breath more and more. I will end today with the last thing I want to say, which is keep an eye out for the newsletter that I sent, the social media that is quite active these days as we are posting a lot of things, building up to workshops this coming weekend. 3 workshops on Friday and Saturday. Check the times and the languages, because one of them is in Spanish and the other one's in English. There's more workshops for free coming the next week after, if I'm not mistaken. And there's also the Women's Therapeutic Program coming up soon, starting September 7, 8, and 9. So be on the lookout for these programs, tell people about them. They are very special workshops, very special programs, unlike anything I've ever done before. Very deep, and I've been working really hard for the past few months to build something that is really deep and powerful for each and every single one of us in many ways. Keep an eye out for the readings also that are active. And before I forget as well, in September, remember, in September, we're having a special activity. In September, you're able to bring a friend to the yoga classes. Included in your own inscription, included in your own package program, whether you're doing readings or recordings or whichever of the options. You can bring someone included, and you can decide if you want to give that to that person as a gift, and you pay, or you pay it amongst the two of you, you decide. And just a heads up as well, remember that after September also, after my birthday is when we increase prices for the readings and everything. So if you know anyone that's interested, or if you need to renew your subscription and all these things, please do so before the middle of September, so that we can take into account these current prices before we revert back to the old prices, the higher prices. I feel like that's everything that there is to say. If you want some more inspiration, go check my Facebook, personal Facebook, and watch my latest live video, which I posted last night. And that is all for now. There's much more to come, and I'm really excited to continue exploring this tomorrow and next week with you. So thank you all so much for your time and your practice. Take good care of yourselves. And as always, be healthy, be happy, and absolutely don't worry. Namaskar. And I'll see you all tomorrow.